You're watching Fantasy Studs and Suds, only on FantasyNow Plus.
Welcome to Fantasy Now Plus. In the background, you guys don't see it. Justin's shaking his head vigorously, and I knew it right away. We are doing the AFC and NFC West rankings today. We have some big names. This is actually a huge tight end class, so we'll be talking tight end quite a little bit more than we're used to over here. We do have some NFL news for you guys. Guys, wake up. It's noon. It's Monday. That means it's Fantasy Now Plus time. Let's get the show started.
You're watching the Fantasy Recap, only on FantasyNow Plus.
So I'm sitting here going, that's odd. Usually I just go live and we do that. But, again, preseason isn't even here yet. So we can't even say we're all in preseason format. We're in off-season, baby. We're in mini camps. We're in training camps. Mandatory, Justin. So I'm glad you showed up today. Appreciate that. We do have some AFC and NFC West rankings to get through. We have the quarterbacks, tight ends, receivers, and running backs. We're not doing all of them. We're just doing top 10 at every position minus the tight ends and quarterbacks. They go to 8. So if you see someone left out and you're angry and you want to comment and you want to leave those angry messages, go ahead and do so down below. We'll definitely respond to you and we'll get to those players, when the season starts. But these are the top 10 players in the West. But first, we do have some fantasy football news. So, Justin, why don't you throw that at us?
Yeah, yesterday was the big day. Noah Fant got cut by the Seattle Seahawks. So that's going to place rookie Elijah Ario. I don't know how to pronounce his name yet. But that's going to put him as tight end 1. So we'll talk about him today. There's a bunch of signings, mostly on the defensive sides of the ball. Including, well, not signing yet, but Eric Hendrickson. We're getting close with the Bengals, so that's fun. But back on the offensive side, Kyle Pitts has a foot injury, but we've known about this, but he appears to be ready for camp, so that's fun. Outside of that, there was one other that I saw. There's a bunch of people that were put on the PUP and not on the PUP. Will Levis to undergo surgery. He's going to miss the entire 2025 season.
You sounded way too happy for that.
I'm just saying. I mean, Chris Godwin's not yet participating in team activities.
You don't say.
Yeah. Case Keenum passes his physical with the Bears, so that's another QB. Desmond Ridder was signed by the Bengals. Again, these are camp bodies. These mean absolutely nothing, guys. Just gonna say that out front. But that's the news. I mean, that's everything. Camp's about to start, so we're going to start seeing injuries pop up. So everybody that has already drafted, that sucks. Also, yes, thank you, Pudge. It is Trey Hendrickson, not Eric Hendrick. I don't know why I said Eric Hendrickson, but Trey Hendrickson is getting close to signing with the Bengals.
There we go. There's your irrelevant news for your July 21st, 2025. And yes, even Noah Fant getting released in my eyes is one of the most irrelevant things that we could talk about today. So I guess the only upside is we will be talking about Elijah Arroyo.
How do you pronounce that name, man?
I'm so bad at names, guys. Like I'm really am.
You still pronounce names wrong, and they've been in the league for like 3 years.
Hey, you know what? Arroyo. I host a wrestling show with
Arroyo.
Boss Man. Oh, there we go. Arroyo. That should be so much easier.
Wait, could you hear that?
Arroyo.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Perfect.
There we go. I like it. Keep that up for me. So, because I really do struggle with names, and I'm not going to throw Bobby under the bus. Bobby is the boss here at Finn's Talk Sports Network, though. We do host a wrestling podcast every Saturday. Go check that out. We did a all-women's show Saturday. Couldn't an all-women's wrestling brand work? Check that out if you're a wrestling content creator. We also have Fantasy Now Plus. What?
I have come in... not contact, but I have watched a wrestler on a TV show that I've been watching.
Who? Which wrestler?
Nikki Bella was on season 3.
She's not a wrestler. We can move on. She's not a wrestler. She's just very, very attractive.
She's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, sure. So was Donald Trump. So He is. So if you like the Fantasy Now Plus and all of our content, we are starting to roll out more weekly shows. Pretty soon, we're going to be in your face 8 days a week. I know it's impossible, but we are having 8 shows. So 7 days a week, 8 shows.
Week 8 times.
Mondays, cold brews and hot takes with me. That will be kicking off here pretty soon when the Hall of Fame game starts. You know I'll be here the very next Monday, 9 a.m. We also have Dynasty in 30. Those drop on Saturdays. We have, of course, Studs and Suds, our guys over there, Jeff and Pudge, every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And stay tuned to our socials to get the entire show list. We will be going 7 days a week here, like almost in a month. So
Dang, now
get
you're
used to us.
naming my shows, but that's fine. It's fine.
Your shows, it's a showdown, which will be me and you again Wednesday. It's not live yet. I've only named live shows. I'm not naming shows that are coming in the future.
Okay, that's fair.
I said if you want more of our show schedule, you don't listen to me. I did say if you want more of our show schedule.
Well, I was reading our comments and making sure that people are acknowledged, you know. So yeah.
Nikki Bella is super hot though. Anyway, we are ranking
Andre Yoshivas. I used to say Yosovas, but it's Yoshivas.
Harry Keneal. That's my
number like
one guy.
Yoshi, the Mario character, Yoshivas.
Yoshivas. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. Well, all right. So I have my own personal rankings here on FantasyNowPlus.com, which you do as well.
Fancy.
And this exercise we've been doing, this is the last one of the series. We went through the East, North, South, and now we're finishing up on the West. And we're going to give you the positional rankings for each, I guess, geographical location. Why are the Colts in the South? That is very north. You can't get any more north. Why is that? Easy fix. I have a fix. Dolphins go to the South because they are the most southern team. Colts go to the East because they're kind
back to the East.
Yeah, they're kind of on the East. Yeah. That's an easy fix.
Well, so the real fix is move the Ravens to the East, move the Dolphins to the South, move the Colts to the North. That is more geographically correct.
That's too many teams moving. I don't need all that, but I understand. So with that being said, we do have a ton of people to list and a lot of superstars. Like the West is loaded. I'm looking at my list right now. So we have a lot to get to. So let's get started, Justin. Let's not pussyfoot around here.
Jamie, you are correct. Move the Browns to the AFL. And yes, Dallas should go to the South. Or the West.
That's an entire show that we should dedicate because they're messed up.
The NFL divisions.
I'm just tired of playing the Patriots and Bills and Jets twice a year. Like as a Dolphin supporter, I want to have the easy cake Texans and Titans and Jaguars for once, just once. I would like an easy division.
Well, it makes it worse. I mean, but that's fine.
I mean, we'd be in the playoffs. Hey, we're 9-8, baby. We made the playoffs, right? That's something Dolphins really can't say. All right. Well, are we starting quarterbacks here?
Yeah.
All right. It's easy. It's easy for me. Who do you have one though? Because to me, it's easy.
One here. I feel like you have to say Patrick Mahomes. But fantasy-wise, I don't think it's Patrick Mahomes. I would actually lean more towards I should have brought up my own rankings. That would have probably been really great. You said it's easy. Who do you got? No, I don't bring my rankings. I go off gut.
Chris in the chat, this is Evan brought it up on his socials yesterday. Evan, Dynasty Now, or Dynasty in 30 on Saturdays if you want to check out his content. I did not see that. I don't go on social media these days unless it's the post about my Pokemon Go account. Other than that, so I probably missed that. But Mahomes.
I do have Mahomes as my one.
Mahomes, easy for me. He's not going to kill you. He's not going to crush you. When we gave out our awards, Topher was the host for that before Topher was a part of us. Before we were Fantasy Now Plus, we gave Mahomes the most consistent player award because he is Mr. Consistent. It might not be his 2019 or whatever year that was, 50 touchdowns, a bajillion points, but he is going to get you consistently 14 to 16 points and not have to worry about it with those upside 20 plus games, which he had 4 last year, which isn't great, but super consistent. That's why he's my number one. I can easily see a situation where Kyler could be one easily.
Yeah. I sorted the list finally. And I actually have Kyler above Patrick Mahomes, but I have Kyler 7, Patrick Mahomes at 8, and then Brock Purdy at 9.
Oh, so you have Purdy ahead of.
I have Bo
Wow.
Nix at 11. So it's like they're all right there. Like you could flip any of these very easily.
Of course. So Kyler for me is 2 because of the rushing upside, and plus, of course, Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison. Like those are pretty good targets you want to hit. But Kyler Murray for me is my number 2. I looked it up yesterday while I was prepping for this show. I'm like, well, Mahomes had 4 20-point games, which that's what I look for at my quarterback position. I want you to average somewhere between 16 to 17 points per game, which is a lot, but give me these 20-point games on a regular basis. Kyler did it 8 times, I believe, last year, where Mahomes only did it 4. So Kyler does, but Kyler has a lot of less, subpar games as well. But I love Kyler. I love Kyler. But you have Knicks ahead of Justin Herbert. You have to tell me why. You have to tell me why.
Rushing upside, Knicks has got a slightly, like not a lot, but a slightly better rushing upside. I think that offense favors him more. The Chargers did run the ball quite a bit last year. I mean, we saw J.K. Dobbins be really good. And they've got a pretty good offensive line. I do like Justin Herbert for what it's worth. I've recently just dropped him. I think I had Justin Herbert in my top 10 last week. Last week before I updated my rankings. But again, it's another one where I could swing either way. But here I still have Brock Purdy at number 3 just because of that offense where he can easily chuck it down to Christian McCaffrey and then he just goes off. And it seems like any wide receiver you can plug into that offense and they'll work.
You can just easily plug in anyone and it'll work. Jawan Jennings, all these guys. Yeah, I understand that. I like Purdy too. It just he worries me. And
We
I know
want to talk
Sean's
about
not
Mr. Consistent. Like Brock Purdy is Mr. Consistent.
He is Mr. Consistent. I'm not arguing that at all, actually. I like Brock Purdy, but it just scares me to see him fall off last year. It wasn't a major fall off, but he dropped 11 touchdowns from his total stat. He went down about 500 passing yards in his total stat line. He did miss a full game, so take that for what it's worth. His yards per attempt went down a full 1.1, from last year, or I should say from 2023 year to last year. So he did see some regression, and I think that has to do with CMC being out, Debo not being the same, Ayuk missing time. So you're right, like he could rise up. Me, I have Purdy at 5. I have Purdy below Knicks and below Herbert.
I don't think I can
And
go
the
down
reason
to 5.
well, the reasons is because of that fall off and because of his surrounding cast just seemingly falling apart or disappearing or going away. Whereas in Herbert, you bring in people to help him play football. You got that Trey Harris receiver that people are into. They made additions. Lad McConkey, perennial top 15 receiver moving forward. We're gonna hope. Whereas Bo Nix, same situation. You have Cortland Sutton still there, great head coach that can get offensive points out of that offense, and he has that rushing upside. Purdy, we're going to find out this year if Purdy is a trailer or a hauler. I forgot how Bucky Brooks says it, but he says there's 2 people. You're the trailer getting hauled, or you're the hauler hauling the trailer. So we're going to see what Purdy is this year. I think we're really going to find out who this guy is.
Well, I mean, this is not necessarily the year the 49ers want to find out who he is since they just signed him to a massive contract. So hopefully they've got that figured out by now. But yeah, we're definitely going to figure it out because now they don't have nearly as much cap space as they did when he was making what $700,000 a year. So I would I can't
So
identify.
Jamie says that Jamie thinks that Knicks has to be
Nick
above
should be above Purdy. I would agree there. I do have Knicks above Purdy.
And I have Herbert above.
No, I don't.
Purdy.
I have Purdy above Knicks. Just kidding.
And I'm going to stand pat. I do have Herbert above Purdy, and I'm going to stand pat because you can go, well, the rushing upside, Purdy rushes more. Brother, Herbert had 17 less rushing yards last year than Herbert. You can create things on the ground, brother. Purdy only had 20 passing touchdowns last year. Justin Herbert, they didn't throw the ball a ton, but he still had 23.
So we have this exactly opposite. We both have Knicks at 11, but I have Purdy higher than Knicks, and you have Herbert higher than Knicks, and then the other one is lower.
You know what it is? You know what it truly is to me? I think this is what it is, and people are going to hate me for this. And that's what we bring here on the Monday show at Fantasy Now Plus. This isn't all about A dot stats and this and that, all stacked off. He's a better
Revive
looking
check in here.
man. He's a better looking man, right? He's way more to me. Like if you put these two men, Brock Purdy and Justin Herbert, in a lineup and go, I want to that's the guy. I'm going Herbert. That's who I trust. I'm always going to trust the handsome guy. I'm always going to trust the more attractive guy and the
Have
guy
we
who just looks more physically dominating. That's all.
have we talked about how Justin Herbert looks like he is an LA guy and Brock Purdy looks like he's a techie in San Francisco and Bo Nix just looks like he's Denver?
I mean,
Like they look like the team that they're on, but
Big Ben looks like Pittsburgh, right? So I guess people are like dogs. When you move to a city, you kind of just adapt to that city, right? Do I look Florida? Do I look Florida, people?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You got the long hair, the gray. Yeah, you look like you belong. You look like you might live in Key West.
Do I put it in the chat? Do I have a MAGA sticker on my truck? Do I have a truck?
You don't have a truck.
All right.
Josh with his no, I'm not gonna dox you. Never mind.
All right. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't put my business out there, Justin. So who are we agreeing on?
I'll give you Brock Purdy at 5, but I'll remember this for later.
We shall remember. So that leaves 3 quarterbacks left. Sam Darnold, future Hall of Famer, possibly Matthew Stafford, and Geno Smith. So we have 2 comeback stories, 2 people that, were left for dead and have found new homes and have been risen like a phoenix from the ashes. And we have old man Matthew Stafford, who people prefer him over Aaron Rodgers still, even though his numbers were worse. So where are we going after Brock Purdy? Darnold, Stafford, Geno. Since you gave me Herbert, I'll let you take this one.
This isn't the battle I want. I want this later, like running backs or wide receivers. Okay, so let's see, Darnold, Stafford, and Geno. Okay, so I have it ranked Darnold, Stafford, Geno.
Darnold, Stafford. That's exactly how I have it.
Okay, that's great.
What about Milrow?
And Darnold is more about the fact that he's going into a good offense-ish. He's got some running back options. He has JSN, which is going to be great for him. I don't expect him to do as great as he did with the Vikings, though. It's not like he's throwing it to Justin Jefferson. Stafford's got Puka. Stafford's got now Devontae Adams. So that's good. Geno literally has Brock Bowers. In fact, once we get to the wide receivers, he doesn't even have a top 10 in these 2 divisions. So
Geno doesn't?
Correct. Geno does not have a top 10 wide receiver in the AFC North and NFC North, like of the 8 teams we're debating.
Sure. Maybe Jacoby Myers, you're just a hater, but maybe Brock Bowers.
Oh my God.
Hey, you're throwing Brock Bowers out the window. That's all I'm saying.
No, yeah, Brock Bowers is going to be on the top. I'm saying wide receiver.
My bad. I heard you say pass catch. See, guys, you see, he doesn't listen to me. I don't listen to him. That's why we don't work. That's why we don't work.
Let's talk about wide receivers. Jacoby Myers is not even on the top 10 on this list. So that's why Geno's last.
I don't know about your list.
I gave you 12 names and said cut 2 of these, and you said Jacoby Myers.
Okay,
that is on you.
Before someone comes in here and tells me I'm not as funny as I think I am, let's go on to our list. Easily number 1 for me, man. Actually, I don't know if this is easy or not for you. Who do you have one? I have Puka. Clear as day.
I have Puka. I do have
Jamie in the chat asked, we moved on from the quarterbacks, but what about Milrow? I'm not going to sit here and project backup quarterbacks at this time. Yep. At this time, this is for redraft. Sam Darnold's being drafted as a starter. He is a starter. Milrow could be a thing. We're going to have to wait for that show. Maybe on the waivers show here about week 5, 6, 7, when when Darnold gets benched, then we'll talk about it. All right. So 1, Puka, Nakua, no arguments from me. I'm really worried. I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried about him taking over by himself because we've seen him without Cup. Actually, he's a lot better without Cup. But I am worried about my number 2 guy, Devontae Adams.
Oh, Devonta. Dang, I thought
Yeah.
you were gonna go JSN. Let's see. Where do I got him down to 21?
I do have Adams as my number 2 in this West Coast swing over here. I just like, it's funny because I was watching a mock draft show. I forgot what network, I forgot what host, but they were talking to Devontae Adams. And I was going, why are we taking Devontae Adams so high in this mock draft? This is ridiculous. This guy's over the hill. He's got to be older than my grandpa. I'm not touching a Taco Bell representative at 32 and a half years old. I'm not. Then I saw the numbers last year. I'm like, God, he was good. Like he was like for being 32 or 31 and a half or 31.8 years old to still put up, almost 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns with a washed Aaron Rodgers on a bad New York Jets football team, half the season, only in 14 games. And then he's going to a team where Matthew Stafford knows how to utilize a wide receiver in the red zone. On the other side, he does have a PPR machine who's going to take up a lot of coverage. Is Devontae Adams sneaky good this year? But then I'm like, wait a minute, no, they're not. No, he's not because people are already overdrafting him. So therefore, I have changed my mind completely thanks to that, whoever that was, and I put Adams above JSN.
I'm using I'll remember this later because I have 3 wide receivers above Devontae Adams right here. 4 if you include Puka Nacua.
I'm just reading the chat right now. Chris has said he was with Rodgers. I said that. Yeah, he was with Rodgers, a washed Rodgers half the season, and he still did well. So if you want to put JS in there, you can. I have no problem with it.
I have Jason in my top 12. So I have him at 10, actually. No, 11. So,
but I just prefer Adams higher than JSN. I'm really worried about the whole situation with Darnold. I'm so worried.
That's fair. And then also, I mean, Cooper Kupp, but Cooper Kupp is filling a Tyler Lockett role, in my opinion, that JSN was able to get around. So I'm not. Actually, Cooper Kupp is also. They got rid of Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. They replaced him with Cooper Kupp. So I'm not super worried about JSN. And then we're adding that rookie tight end, and then you're bringing in a new quarterback. So again, not super worried about JSN's ability to still be a top 12 wide receiver. I think he is better than the other guys on this list. The other guys that I had above Devontae Adams were Ladd McConkey and Marvin Harrison Jr. Again, Ladd was already great last year. You got Justin Herbert at 3 already. This should be pretty good. Marvin Harrison is also beefed up a lot. We're hoping that takes off this year again. His rookie season was similar to JSN's. Both had high expectations, did not do well. Hopefully their sophomore year is a lot better. But
Ladd. We could put Ladd there at 3 if you want. I still prefer Adams. Oh no, I can't say that. Listen, Ladd is weird, man. They don't really throw the ball a ton over there in LA, and it wasn't because the lack of pass catchers. Was it the case of they had too many good players on the ground? Like, I don't know what it was. Right, Justin Herbert was phenomenal last year. Ladd McConkey had 82 catches, 1,149 yards, 7 touchdowns. But it started late. Started super late. So here's what happened with Ladd in my story. My experience with Ladd. I drafted Ladd in a couple leagues. Weeks 1 through 7, he was booty. He was crazy ungood. He was wide receiver 45. He was averaging 10 fantasy points per game in PPR formats. Basically unstartable. So as I do as a fantasy manager, I go, well, he's obviously not going to be it on a team that doesn't throw the ball 1,000 times a game. I moved on from Ladd. Weeks 8 to 17, wide receiver 10, 18 fantasy points per game. He just caught fire and he didn't stop. So 1, I guess, hold your rookies forever because they're eventually going to pop off. 2, is he going to be able to repeat the second half of the season? That's what I'm worried about. Or are they going to go back to the first part of the season where they don't throw the ball a ton of times? I do have stats on the Chargers rushing and passing plays, but that's for Hampton when we talk about the running backs. But I will let you guys know this. The Chargers They don't run a lot of offensive plays, which is why I'm probably going to be down on Hampton in a couple, like someone like Ladd. But I do like him there.
It also hurts just the fact that, I mean, Greg Roman's the offense coordinator, Jim Harbaugh's the head coach. They're both rushing coaches, you could say. So that hurts a little bit, but
And I want to say this: Ladd is being drafted, in my opinion, way too high. He only recorded 3 weeks last year as a wide receiver 1 overall. It was against New Orleans week 8, Atlanta week 13, New England week 17. He had 6 weeks of wide receiver 3 or worse last year. He had 7 weeks in between that wide receiver 2 slot, which is wide receiver 13 to 24. He is being drafted right now as a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 11, by the way, 22nd overall. So if you want your wide receiver 2 in the first top 2 rounds, Ladd's your guy, but he's not going to give you these wide receiver 1 numbers you expect. That's my take on Ladd McConkey. But you're drafting him as a wide receiver 1. That's my issue. That it? Is that what we're doing? When you have no response, you're just like, man, how can I respond to that? Say nothing. That's what I do. When my wife yells at me about something,
I
know what I do? I say nothing.
I wish I could learn that. I just think that Adams, like, I get Adams is good.
No,
He's
put
going to a
your
good offense.
put your precious wide receiver 2 up there. Do it.
I'll give Devontae Adams 4. Marvin hasn't proven anything yet.
How's everyone's Super League draft going, by the way? Yes, I didn't plug that. Let's take time to do that. Super League is kicked off this weekend. We will take a couple of minutes to talk about that. If you are drafting in Super League, put your picks down below. I'm in round 4. I think I'm pretty slow. I think our league's pretty slow. Where are you at?
We're slow too. I think I might have just picked my 4th pick.
I went Bowers in the 2nd, Jalen Hurts in the 1st. I can't remember my other picks because I also have another draft going on right now, but I'm freaking crushing it. I
went Jamar Chase at 104, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Breece Hall, and then George Kittle.
Kittle pretty late. So if you are in Super League, put your teams down below. I really want to hear about that. It's been awesome. We haven't had many problems. I think one person had to leave because of some sort of issues. So glad that Justin was on top of that, and Sean, by the way, for getting us a new member real quick. So hope you guys are enjoying your Super League. Are registrations open for next year?
Not yet. They will be later this week.
Right on. Let's continue with the wide receiver rankings. We'll speed through a couple of these because we're already about 30 minutes in. Who did you sneak behind, Ladd?
Devontae Adams.
And then you went just who else?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
I can't see that.
Marvin.
I'll allow that. But I will say this:
Marvin way down at 26, but
I'll allow it. You know what's sad about this? Rashee Rice should be up here. Rashee Rice's name should have already been said, but this stupid suspension is going to kill his value. So this year, you can see it on FantasyNow Plus. I already adjusted that and moved him down. But he should be around this range right here. I still have him at 5 on my list. But my next guy I want to talk about is Courtland Sutton. I think Courtland Sutton, Jamie's got Chase, Puka, Kittle, and Kamara in Super League. That's awesome. Chris went Burrow, Neighbors, Kyron, and I picked between Fantasy Nobody and Just. Oh, you guys are all in the same division. Left me out. I'm in the Han Solo division.
No, they're not in my division.
He says he picks between Fantasy Nobody and Justin.
I wonder if he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. Maybe SFP. I don't know.
Possibly. Courtland Sutton, 30 years old, had a fantasy breakout last year, if you want to call it a breakout. Saw a career high in targets, 135 targets last year. First 1,000-yard season since 2019. Last year, him and Bo Nix did some special things. I'm really high on Courtland Sutton this year, and I know this is going to crash and burn, and I'm ready for it, and I cannot wait for the week 4 of me just doing this on the show, going, Courtland Sutton, why did I draft you in the 4th round? But I'm ready for it. I'm here to put Courtland Sutton as my right under Marvin Harrison. You're okay with that? I can go with that?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm fine with that, especially with Bo Nix there.
All right. So the next guys, who do we have left? Worthy.
We got Ayuk, Cup, Jennings, and Worthy. Brandon Ayuk is starting off. He's on pup right now, so he's not even like. I think that's going to tank his value a little bit. With Rice's suspension, I think Worthy and Jennings both see a bump here. So
I would like to go Cup here, but I know you hate Cup.
I'm fine with Cup right here. I would say Worthy after Cup though. I think he has a little bit better of a chance of getting there than Jennings. And then just because of his injury, I think Brandon Ayuk is at 10. But Brandon Ayuk's injury is already better than Jacoby Myers. So
hater.
Throw it out.
Hater.
Running back. Should we try to get this one going through quick?
Yeah, let's go quick on these. I do have, you know what's funny is I did my most research on running backs, but it's fine. It's fine. It's cool. It's chill.
Well, then you should just know what's going on then.
Oh, I do know what's going on.
Who do you have won?
Kyron Williams, 25 years old, running back 7 last year, averaged 17 fantasy points per game. Followed up his impossible. We all said this. If you're a content creator and you're on YouTube or you're on X or you said this, there's no way he's going to do 15 touchdowns again. He's not going to match his touchdown production. There's no way. Well, he didn't. He exceeded it at 16 touchdowns last year. Trust me, I was one of those guys too. Only 2 weeks outside the top 24 at the running back position. But Blake Corum was drafted. But they traded up for Jarquez Hunter. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. Kyron Williams is that dude until he's not that dude. He's my number one. Any objections?
No.
All right. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of people going, oh, they traded up for this guy. I don't care. Everyone does. Everyone trades up. Everyone trades up for running backs in the third, fourth, second. Who cares? Kyron Williams, he's on a contract here. I'm worried about that. But guess what? It's fine. Josh Jacobs went somewhere else, balled out. Saquon Barkley. This is not 2004 anymore. Players can move on to different teams and still succeed in the NFL. They used to not. Now they do. Who's your number 2?
If Christian McCaffrey is healthy, I think Christian has to go there. A healthy Christian McCaffrey is better than all these guys, even at his age. Quick
Story. The first time and only time I've ever been recognized for this year, not this year's show because we were OUS at the time, was because of CMC. First ever Orlando live draft, Scott Fishbowl. It was smaller, right? And that's back when I was pounding on Twitter, bro. I was on Twitter every day. I was addicted like you guys are. I was addicted. I had to be on social media at all time. And I was known as the CMC guy. I walk in, total stranger. Hey, you're the CMC guy. And I'm like, I am the CMC guy because y'all are not drafting him. And I'm telling you to still do it. Ironic, it's 2025 and we're still talking about if this guy's healthy, he's the best player in the world. I have him number 2 as well. Everything's the same.
Looking at your list.
Everything's the same. Everything's the same.
I mean, after this, I feel like you got to go with the explosiveness of Ashton Genty. I know he is a rookie, but the guy had more yards after contact last year than any running back in all of college football had total. He is insane. He is explosive. Him in a Pete Carroll offense where we already saw a guy like Marshawn Lynch be explosive and great. I can see this only being a good thing for Ashton Genty. Would you agree?
I like Ashton Genty there. I think he's a dual threat. I think they're going to lean on him heavily. They're going to need to lean on him heavily. Genty is going to be a baller. Best blocking receiver in the draft. Carroll wants to run the ball. That's definitely for sure. I have Walker at 4. I know you hate Walker. I know everybody hates Kenneth Walker.
I like Walker. I'm fine with Kenneth Walker right there.
I'm worried about Kenneth Walker. His yards per carry go down each year. Started with 4.6, then went to 4.1. Not last year, 3.8. His injuries. Let me just run down the list of injuries.
Oh God. Do we have time for that?
It's going to be a while. No, I'll be quick. 2022, hernia, shoulder, ankle, back, ankle. These are all 5 different reports, not all the same report. 2023, calf, chest, oblique, shoulder. 2024, oblique, calf, ankle. Guys, I'm almost 40. The injuries don't go away as you get older. They just get worse. I'm worried about his health, but I still think Kenneth Walker should be top 5.
Yeah, I agree. After this, I lean towards the Chiefs offense with Isaiah Pacheco. Yeah, good with that one.
Pacheco's good for me because he's Mr. Steady. He's on one of the best, not one of the best offenses, but one of the most
consistent.
I guess offenses. You could be consistent. Yeah. So yeah, Pacheco's good for me there.
James Conner is still a workhorse. I know they brought in Trey Benson, but it's still the James Conner.
Wait, didn't they trade up for Trey Benson?
Yeah.
Then he should be taken over. Just look at the draft. All right. If you trade up for a running back, they're automatically the starter. That's what I've been reading on Twitter.
I'm not buying into this right now.
Okay.
I mean, after this, what we going Amari and Hampton here? Like,
yeah, we're going Hampton here. The Chargers. The Chargers, they say they run the ball a lot. I know I got your private message. We're going to get you out of here in the next 5 minutes or so, but I got to read this because I don't write things down on paper for me not to read it, people. All right. Chargers, 12th most rushing attempts in the NFL last year. Not top 10, not even top 10. So when you say they run the ball a lot, well, comparison to their team, they do. They ran the 29th amount of plays, which is really, really bad. As in they're never on the field, as in they go 3 and out a lot. They don't create a lot of long drives. They're very slow offense. So I'm not really digging the running back situation over there as much as everyone wants it to be. Only the Jets, Panthers, Jaguars, and who's that last team I scribbled? Panthers, Jaguars, and Jets. Yeah, 3 teams ran less plays than the Chargers last year. The Jets ran 59.4 plays per game. The Chargers, 59.5. So they edged them out by 0.1. It's just not a very efficient offense over there. And it's hard for me to value running backs because running backs are all about opportunity and volume. And when you're not on the field a ton, it's because if your offense doesn't run a ton of plays, it's going to be hard for you to get over, especially as a rookie with stiff competition. Did I say that clearly?
Yeah.
I hate Hampton. And then we got... the rest of these guys are just,
yeah. Harvey / Dobbins, Najee Harris with no eyes, and Zach Charbonnet.
I would rank them the Broncos guys next.
Yeah.
And it's such a cheap thing we did here, Broncos guys, but that's what we did. And if you want to put Charbonnet there, sure, and Najee last. But I do think Najee is going to get the opportunities before Hampton.
But I just think Hampton's going to end up taking over that backfield.
Of course.
Najee Harris can even be the sole running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers when he was fighting Jalen Warren and Cordero Patterson. Now he has to fight off a better running back. Come on.
It is unfortunate that we have to speed up these tight ends because this is possibly the best tight end class in the entire league. I think Bowers, Kittle, McBride can all argue to be the number 1 tight end in the league, not just in this geographical setting.
Yeah, this one I think is tough. McBride and Bowers are either 1 or 2 in everybody's rankings. Like these are the top 2 guys, and then Kittle is right there too. Like if McBride and Bowers didn't exist, Kittle is 1. So it's like who do we got here?
Just to be clear, I'm okay with putting Bowers at 1 so I don't get trashed on Twitter and Blue Sky. I won't see it, by the way. But I'm okay with putting Bowers 1, but I personally have McBride 1. I have McBride as my tight end 1.
I say let's put McBride 1. I mean, if we're saying their quarterback should mean something to their success, Kyler Murray is 2, Geno Smith is number 8 for us.
Chargers were 16th time possession with 2024.
The Raiders don't even have a top 10 wide receiver, which means Bowers is their top 10 wide receiver. Whereas at least they have Marvin Harrison Jr. for the Cardinals. So I could see that going either way.
We think they have Marv. Just because the man, listen, I can go to the gym and get muscles too. I mean, anyone can. It's diet. Guess what? YouTube.com. Just go YouTube some workout plans. Anyone can get big. Bodybuilding.com. Anyone can go buy the supplements.
I'm fine with Trey McBride than Brock Bowers. I think George Kittle is easily the 3, though.
Chris, 16. I didn't look up the time of possession. That's smart. But again, if you're only running, 59.5 plays, when Washington #1 runs 66 plays a game, it's tough. It's tough because you think about it. That's 12 extra carries a running back could have had. And if they average 4 yards per carry, we're looking at some numbers we're missing out with in Los Angeles. But
yeah,
I just wish they'd just speed up the play. Cincinnati did that for the longest time. Always held the ball, always slow pace of play. Anyway, back to the tight ends. Kittle, I come down with Kittle at 3. Actually, led
here.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Just want to make this a point, which I'm sure people know. Kittle might not have been in the tight end 1 last year, but he was tight end 1 in points per game. Kittle's a stud. And if you're missing Ayuk and Juwan Jennings is a flop and he's not the breakout everyone thinks he's going to be, then Kittle should be probably higher on this list. I will say that. But that's a lot of ifs.
I think Evan Ingram has a bounce back year in Denver's offense. I think that's going to really help him. It's probably one of the better offenses that he's going to be in his career.
I'm not ranking Higbee nowhere. No, I'm putting Higbee at 0.
Absolutely not. So let's see. After that, I mean, we got Elijah.
Can we just leave it blank?
Arroyo.
Like, none of these guys are going to be drafted in real life.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
Yes, Kittle is the best redraft value, scoring more points per game than Bowers and McBride. I 1000% agree. And if you take in a account to where, like I said it, Ayuk, questionable. Juwan Jennings has never done it in his career, and all of a sudden we have to believe he can do it. CMC is always injured. Kittle's, yeah, that's my guy. I can't wait for Kittle to retire so I can see him on WWE, though, like wrestling. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. After Fantler's release, Arroyo has been drafted. Yes, I understand that. That doesn't, in a 12-team league, I'm still not drafting Arroyo. Although I could be wrong. I'll give him 1,000%. You know why? I'll tell you why.
Not doing anything.
I know we're wrapping it up. Justin's got to call somebody. He private messaged me about that. I talk too much. I get it. But I will say this, and we're going to wrap it up. Oh, we're already playing the music. I'm not going to say it. I'll save it for next week. But we're going to get on out of here because you're playing me off. We're going to get out of here. Arroyo could be top 10 this year. He could be. But I'm not going to rely on it just now. You know what? We're going to do a whole show on draft strategies because I will reveal why I'm not drafting Arroyo there. But make sure you tune in next week. Maybe that's next week's show. We'll be talking draft strategies. We'll be talking Scott Fishbowl. We'll be talking about Super League. We'll be wrapping everything up because everyone's draft should be done by then. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about which players you drafted, which players you should have drafted, and maybe some draft strategy. Catch us next week, guys. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.